Hey everyone, good afternoon. This morning we did a goal setting workshop for network marketers and their business and their personal goals for 2023. And I want to share with you the 4 key principles and some of the challenges people were running into and give you some fixes for it. If you want access to the full 90-minute workshop and the handouts that went with it, just say the word workshop below. We'll make sure to get you the link so you know how to register for the workshop and get access to it. So I started off the workshop with, all right, let's have real talk. So we had about 30 people on there live. And I was so proud that people were on live. And I said, all right, so let's do real talk. What's hard about goal setting, yearly goal setting? And so I'm going to read you the list. And if you can relate, you don't need to put which one you can relate, but if you want to, you can. Just put I can relate. Because I think we don't talk about this. Most goal setting workshops are just very like rah, cheerleader, pie in the sky. We can do it. And it doesn't acknowledge the reality of what it looks like when we're moving forward. So 6 people said they're commitment phobic about goal setting. How do I track progress? How do I forecast my numbers properly? How do I stick with it? I don't go back to it. Like I'll make the goals and I don't go back to it. It's not on paper. I fear of being disappointed or discouraged if I don't reach them. I've never made yearly goals before. It's how do I know if it's realistically attainable? I stare at them and I wonder how. I have a lot of discomfort. Like, what if I don't? I abandon my goals. I don't know if my goals should be realistic or really, really big, like insert famous trainer. I have so many, my life gets in the way and my goals get abandoned because the people around me, their goals are more important. So if you can relate to any of those, let me know. So we just had a real conversation about it. And for me, goal setting, I mean, I know I talk about it a lot, but I have a love-hate relationship with it. It's really hard, puts my head in a pretzel because what is today versus what is tomorrow, those are different pictures and it makes my head hurt and I get stressed out and I doubt myself. And I've been told that that is human, but I also know that a company without a target can't go anywhere. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And so if we don't know where our company is going, then how will we get there? And so I think a lot of people will be like, let me see where it goes, but it's not going to go on your own, guys. You are the driver. So here are some key principles that I think will be helpful. First key principle is when we're making targets and then a plan, kind of like a vacation. There's a famous quote by Michael Hyatt. We spend more time planning a 1-week vacation than planning our lives. And the point of the goals is not to determine whether or not we're good or bad, or there's an identity around that. The purpose of a goal is so we can say, what's the end destination and what are the actions I need to take on a daily basis to get there? It's the action that matters, not the goal. And so if we have a goal and we set out to achieve it and we crush it, which I've crushed goals like more than I ever, because the actions create the results. I've also had goals and I've taken action towards it and fallen short. And I asked everyone, like, does that make me bad to find out that in 2021, we reached our revenue goals of business, and in 2022, we will not? And they're like, of course not. Like, there are ups and downs in business, and that happens, and try again. And I was like, well, could we say the same things to ourselves? Like, you won't judge me for that. Why do we judge ourselves? The second key principle is called the zone of acceptance. This is a psychological principle that wherever we are, we have a zone of acceptance. Like I can accept this far good things and this back bad things. And if it goes outside of that, then I'm going to go the opposite direction. So let's say I'm a network marketer and in my mind, I hear the word 10 enrollments, 10 new customers in a month. If I'm like, I think I can accept that that could be true, then it's within the zone of acceptance. It's a good role. It's a good goal. But if you're like, there is absolutely no way, you'll see that your mind will start to fight against that because it's out of the zone of acceptance. So if your goal is outside of the zone of acceptance, your mind will give you evidence that you can't reach it. So we've got to dial it back. So if 10 enrollments in 1 month is outside of your zone of acceptance, there are many people watching this video that are like, yeah, I could do that. that's a great goal and I'm going to get to work on it, and it inspires them into action. But if it's outside of the goal zone of acceptance, it will paralyze you and you will actively fight against it. So what I need to do is I need to dial back that goal until it falls into my zone of acceptance. Now, here's the cool thing. If you look at it like a football field and I move closer towards that goal, my zone of acceptance moves with me, and I can set a new goal, right, that is higher. So maybe I need to move it to 5 enrollments in a month or new customers in a month. But once I get there, if my zone of acceptance is plus or minus 5, once I get to 5, my plus or minus 5 is 10. And in the same amount of time, I end up reaching the 10 enrollments a month because of the zone of acceptance has actually moved. When I first started my business, we did $42,000 that year in coaching. It was not even close to my zone of acceptance to be a $500,000 coaching business. I wasn't there yet. I mean, I kind of thought it could be, but I didn't think it could be right away. And so I would have paralyzed myself. So I set a goal that was within my zone of acceptance. And then I actually passed it because the actions created more. So zone of acceptance, super important. If your goals are not within your zone of acceptance, you will not pursue them. The third thing about goals is have zero judgment. We got to stop with like, what should my goals be? If you don't know what you want, pick the opposite of what you don't want and put that down, right? So if you're like, I do not want to work 16 hours a day, you can say, so therefore, if I don't want that, then I do want to work 9 hours a day. That's a goal. Also try low, medium, and high goals so that you have something to aspire toward, but also a floor within your zone of acceptance. And the fourth key principle was to expect the mind pretzel. It's fine. When I set goals, I always go into a 2 or 3 day mind pretzel. And part of it's like, well, why would I put myself through that? Because on the other side, I get through it. It's kind of like boot camp, or I don't know if when you guys were in high school, your football team did 2-a-days. And it's like, why would you join the football team? They have 2-a-days. And the response is, yeah, but it's temporary. And the 2-a-days prepare me for the season. So I can do the 2-a-days. It's going to be terrible. It's going to stink. But it'll be temporary and then I'll get through it. And that's about 3 days after goal setting. So I encouraged everyone that showed up today to be like, I'm sorry I ruined your weekend, but I'm also happy that your life is going to be better. And it's just like 2-a-days in high school football. You make the goals. The picture of your future doesn't match the picture of the current. And so it'll hurt. It'll hurt your brain. You'll doubt yourself. All of that, right? Because those two pictures don't match. And that's hard for us. And then that part will be over and you'll be able to move into action toward whatever your goals are. And if you're able to have goals that stimulate your action after the mind pretzel, then you're going to be able to operate with more intention and more focus. And I think that's what we want, right? We want to live a life with intention that's purposeful, it's masterful. We can't do it without knowing where it is that we're going. The fifth principle we talked about is making sure to set personal, health, and business goals and see them all on paper, because you have to make sure they don't conflict with each other. If they conflict with each other, you won't do them. And that's another reason goals don't work. So I hope this little recap was helpful for you. If something in here resonated with you, just put in the comments or send me or Karen a message. I'd like the details on the workshop, and we will send you the details on the workshop. I think it's $47, and we'll get you the recording, we'll get you a worksheet, and you won't regret it. I have a client I've worked with for a while. She's like, I went to the workshop and even I was inspired. I thought that was so funny. Every year for 7 years, I've been setting goals. Every year I get a little bit better, a little bit wiser. And so I want to share that with you so you don't have to start from scratch. So hope you all have a great rest of your day. And I hope to see you virtually. I hope you see me, I guess, at the workshop that already happened. Have a great day.